Chapter 19, the chapter of Mary containing 418 verses written at Mecca. In the name of God, gracious and merciful, God is the rewarder, conductor. Of the righteous, liberal, wise, true. Zechariah, the servant of thy Lord, remembered his grace when he in secret prayed to his Lord and said, Lord, my bones are become feeble and mine head is white with old age. Lord, I was never rejected in my prayers. Hear my petition, give me a son to succeed me, that may be mine heir of the lineage of Jacob, and be pleasing to thee. O Zechariah, declare unto thee that thou shalt have a son named John. No man hath yet been called by that name. He said, Lord, how shall I have a son? My wife is barren, and I am too old. It was answered him, the thing shall be as I have said unto thee. It is easy to thy Lord who created thee. He said, Lord, give me some sign of the conception of my wife, and said to him, Thou shalt not speak for 3 nights. Then went he out of his oratory and made signs to his people to make their prayers evening and morning. O John learned the scripture with affection. We from his infancy gave him knowledge, clemency, charity, piety, affection towards his father and mother, and not violence and disobedience. We bless the day of his nativity, the day that he shall die, and the day that he shall rise again. Remember thou what is written of Mary. She retired towards the east into a place far remote from her kindred, and took a veil to cover her. We sent her our spirit in form of a man. She was afraid and said, God will preserve me from thee, if thou have his fear before thine eyes. He said, O Mary, I am the messenger of God, thy Lord, who shall give thee a son, active and prudent. She answered, How shall I have a son without the touch of a man? I desire not to be unchaste. He said, The thing shall be as I have told thee. It is facile to thy Lord. Thy son shall be a token of the omnipotency of God, and his special grace towards such as shall believe in his divine majesty. She became with child and retired for some time into a place remote from people, where she sustained the dollars of childbirth at the foot of a date tree, and said, Why am I not dead? Wherefore am I not in the number of the persons forgotten? The angel said to her, Afflict not thyself, God hath placed a brook under thee. Shake the foot of this palm, and the dates shall fall. Gather them up, eat and drink, and wash thine eyes. Say unto them that thou shalt meet, that thou fastest, and hast made a vow not to speak to anyone until thy fast be accomplished. Her parents met her while she bare her infant, and said unto her, O Mary, behold a strange thing. O sister barren, thy father did not command thee to do evil, neither was thy mother unchaste. She made signs to her infant to answer them, and they said, How shall the infant in the cradle speak? Then her infant spake, and said, I am the servant of God. He hath taught me the scripture, hath made me a prophet, blessed me in all places, and commanded me to pray unto him. He hath recommended to me purity through the whole course of my life, and to honor my father and mother, and hath not made me either violent or malicious. Praised shall be the day of my birth, the day that I shall die, and the day of my resurrection. Thus spake Jesus, the Son of Mary, with truth, of which ye doubt. God approveth not the discourse of them that say he hath a son. Praised be God. When he willeth anything, he saith, Be thou, and it is. He is mine, and your Lord. Worship him, and this is the right way. There be persons who in this regard have been of different opinion. But misery is upon the incredulous. They shall be miserable at the day of judgment. The misbelievers are manifestly erroneous from the right way. If thou preach to them the torments of hell and their ignorance, they will not hear thee. We are lords of whatsoever is on earth, and dispose of everything at our pleasure. They shall be one day assembled before us to be judged. Remember thou what is written of Abraham. He was a righteous man and a prophet. He said unto his father, adore not what neither seeth nor understandeth anything, and that cannot be profitable. I know what ye know not. Follow me, and I will conduct you into the right way. Worship not the devil. He is disobedient unto God. Otherwise, I fear that God may chastise you, and you may be in the number of the damned. He answered, O Abraham, dost thou abhor my gods? You know what he thought to be such. Unless thou change thy discourse, I will stone thee. Depart from me. For a long time he said, may God inspire you. I will pray for you. He is exceedingly good and will hear my prayers. Whom will ye adore when I shall be gone from you? Worship God, my Lord, and your prayers shall be heard. He departed from them and worshipped one God. We gave him 2 sons, Isaac and Jacob, both prophets. We conferred our grace upon him with an eloquent and true tongue. Remember thou what is written of Moses. He was a righteous man, our prophet and messenger. We called him on the right side of the Mount Sinai, drew him near unto us, and taught him our secrets. We, through special grace, gave him a brother named Aaron. Remember thou what is written of Ishmael. He exactly observed what he promised, was a prophet and an apostle of the Lord, preached purity and recommended to men to make their prayers often, and was pleasing to his Lord. Remember thou what is written of Enoch. He was a just man and a prophet, and we took him up to an exceeding high place. God gave his grace to these men among the prophets of the lineage of Adam, among them whom we caused to embark with Noah, among those of the lineage of Abraham and Israel, and among those that we assembled and guided into the right way. When the miracles of the merciful were related to them, they fell prostrate and adored him with tears in their eyes. Their posterity foretook their footsteps, abandoned the law, and followed their own appetites, but they shall be precipitated into hell, except such as shall be converted and do good works. They shall enter into paradise, and no injustice shall be done to them. They shall enter into the Garden of Eden. What the merciful God doth promise is infallible. They shall have nothing spoken. They shall hear nothing spoken in paradise that shall displease them. They shall hear the salutation of angels. My pinks. And morning and evening shall have what they desire, such as paradise, which God giveth to his creatures that have his fear before their eyes. I descend not from heaven, but by the permission of thy Lord. He is master of our actions in heaven and earth, and of whatsoever is between them he hath not forgot thee. Worship him and persevere in thy adoration. Knowest thou any person that is named like him? Man saith, what shall I die and rise again? He considereth not that God hath created him of nothing. Will one day assemble the misbelievers and devils. I will cause them to appear at the gate of hell upon their knees, and will cast upon them all manner of misery, because they have increased their impiety towards their Lord. I know such as deserve to be burned in hell. They shall be thrown thither headlong, and this is a most just sentence pronounced by the Lord. I will save the righteous and forbid misbelievers to fall on their knees before idols and other partners that they assume to be have a partnership in divinity. When the unbelievers, many of the faithful, heard my commandments preached, they said among themselves that they were in a better way than their neighbor. How many have we destroyed before them in past ages, more rich than they, and hypocrites like unto them? Say unto them, God prolongeth the life of the erroneous, that they may know their errors and learn the knowledge of the pains prepared for them. They shall understand who shall be the most miserable, and who shall have been most weak in their faith, and least affectionate to the service of his divine majesty, God shall increase their faith, who shall follow the right way, and such as be obedient to him shall enjoy his grace. Hast thou considered the action of the wicked? They demand, if they shall have riches and children after their resurrection. Would you know what shall be? Would you capitulate with the merciful? I will not do it. I will write all that they say and will add to their miseries. I will give to them in this world what they require, and they shall rise again naked without treasure and children. They adored idols, partners, to have their protection. Certainly they erred in that adoration. They shall renounce them and be their enemies at the day of judgment. Seest thou not how we have sent the devils against misbelievers to seduce them? Be not impatient to see them punished. They shall be judged at the day appointed. Be thou mindful of the day when I shall assemble the righteous in the presence of God and precipitate all the wicked into hell. Their prayers shall not be heard except such as have accomplished their promises made to the merciful. They shall have said, do you believe that God hath a son? You utter a strange thing, it wanteth not much, but that heaven and earth open themselves, and that the mountains fall. With their utter destruction they call God, God the Son. God hath naught to do with a son. Whatsoever is in heaven and earth adore him. He knoweth the account and the number of all things of the world. Then shall appear before him at the day of judgment, and the true believers that shall do good works shall be beloved of his divine majesty. We have sent thee Al-Quran, written in thine own language, that thou mayest proclaim the delights of paradise to them that fear me, and preach the torments of hell to such as dispute with obstinacy against the faith. How many of the wicked have we destroyed in past ages? Hast thou heard speak of them? Hast thou heard mention of their memory? And what we do bring up in the past, it should be of a lesson. If we mention evil, it's, to deter, because what's the end of evil and all that? God not holding back the devils because has set a law. And if you create problems with your belief in one way, that opens up other things to be the case. And